Just get the little bag of the hex screws. They're all the same size, so it's pretty simple. Follow the instructions video, or look at the pictures, and as you start building it, you'll see it come together very nicely, very easy. You don't need to crank on it hard, just make sure it's nice and tight. I like how you put everything together. Everything is squared, which makes it really nice. That means good news when you start printing, because when you try to level the bed, you're gonna get precise leveling. I mean, everything is gonna be strong, structural. This is very nice. I like it. So right away, you start putting this puppy together and see progress. And you see that I just put it together and it stays there because it's squared. Makes it really nice. It sits on there very nice. They're all the same size screws, so you really can't mess things up. Makes installation a breeze. I know with other brands of printers that you have to put together, they're a lot cheaper and blah blah, all this stuff. Sometimes when you put those screws on, it gets confusing. It could take you up to 4 to 5 hours to build your first printer. And you know that this is not the case with this printer. You could build this within an hour tops. So now, next step is you get your Y-axis set up. This is your Y-axis motor. Put it in. One thing I want to mention is you want to use the side the screw goes in, the hex screw goes in that little crevice. So I'm gonna put this puppy in like that, and then the screws go in this direction. The screws, when you're done screwing them, it'll be flush. So that's how you know that you put this in the right direction and not backwards. So this is where this plugs in. Very easy. I mean, look at that. Very, very simple. I love it. So 4 more screws. Make sure when you put screws in, the thread starts nice. I haven't had a problem, but with past experience with other items, say if you don't want to cross thread your threads. So every single one that I've done so far screws in really nice. So they're threaded really nice. And this frame right here, it's super strong, super solid. There is no way you're going to get this out of shape. I mean, you will, obviously you can, but you will need a lot of pressure to do that. Okay, so this is the back side, this is the front side. You can tell because of the motors for the Z axis is there, and these holes they're not threaded, so you could pre-install them like halfway the set up the first nut with the flat washer. All you do is just start it.
Find the balance on it. Keep doing that over and over.
So then you put a flat washer on the nut. And then a nut again with the flat washer in that order. I want to show you guys the back side. All you do is just let it come out just enough to put a washer and a nut on it. That's it. Washer and a nut. One more. And that's perfect right there. Then you tighten it up. Just like that. Then you do this one to the front. Just like that. Just hand tighten it right there. And you do the same thing for the other side. So next, you get your two rods, put them in the hole. You can't mess that one up, it's pretty simple. Two nuts first and then the flat washers. Just like that. Then you get your bed frame. And you'll get your front piece, and that goes to the front outside. This goes to the inside for the belt. Just like so. Then you use another flat washer and your nut. Same thing on the other side. And the nut. Just like that. Then you grab your belt. Yep, there's two pieces. Okay, you see these two holes right in the center of the H plate for the bed? That's where the belt is gonna go in and out. Just gonna make sure the belt side is correct on the pulley. So this one in here goes just like that. go. The instructions show you how to do this. You're gonna go to the back hole first, go in the center, and then you're gonna loop it to the next one out. So it'll look like that. And that right there alone is pretty tight. So put a wire tie, just like the instructions show you, and you're done. So after all this is done, make sure you tighten up the nuts with the wrenches provided. Next, you get the heat bed. Comes with tape already. Not a big fan of tape, but some of you are. It works. And these bolts here, the screws. Make sure it has a nut on there. Make sure it's tight. Okay, I want to show you the heat bed goes. There's only one hole on the frame where the wires will go through, right here. That's the power supply side, so there's no mistake. That's how the heat bed will go, and it goes this way. And you want to put your springs on after you tie this down real nice, and tie your springs and your wire nuts on there. The wing nuts, well, they're round. They're really nice to use. Just spin. You guys hear that sound? That's the bed hitting the end stop, which was pre-installed. Makes it really nice. Next, we're going to install the rods for the Z. And this coupling here has Allen wrench screws. Another side. Make sure the screws, hex screws on top. Okay, one thing I want to make clear. This end of the threaded rod should not, I repeat, it should not hit or touch the shaft of the motor. Make sure when you go down, raise it up about 1/8 of an inch. Then you screw it down. Why? Because this coupling flexes. You guys see that movement there? It flexes. It's made to do that, and you're supposed to do that. If you don't do that, you will have problems. Perfect. See the bending, moving? You want that. You need that. Next up is our extruder. This awesome extruder. Look at that thing. That thing is cool. So next you get the short rods. There are some short ones and some long ones. You can see in the video there. So you get the short ones, that's for the extruder. Then you put this one in. Just like that. So next, you put the extruder in on the thread rods. And all you do is just spin them all the way from the top, all the way down. Keep it even as possible. We'll adjust that later. Alright, solid rods. Put one in there. They fit on the base here. One on this side. That square things up. Then you get your caps. This cap goes on the right side, this one goes on the left. It has a little hole right there for that rod. One there. One there. Now I want to show you. This is a cap that is normal on both sides. That's normal. I want to show you guys how easy this moves. Okay, I want to say on this side right here there's a slot. You can see my finger right there. That's where you're gonna run the wires through. They're gonna go from here out through the hole, back here, and we're gonna keep them tied up really nice to connect to the motors and the power supply. They just supply you with this cable tie downs and the screws also. So this job is really nice and simple. The instructions will show you, and I'll show you how to do this also. So all these wires coming from the motherboard, I'm gonna put them in through here and out this way. This cable too. Basically anything that's gonna go towards this side of the printer, all those wires are gonna go through there. Take your time, do a nice job, make sure the cables are not twisted. That way they keep their shape really nice and uniform. It makes the job a lot cleaner, simpler. It's fun this way. So down here, so I could zoom in there. Right there, there's a hole where one of these cable hold downs are gonna screw onto that and hold the wires down right there. And back here on this side you got another one. Okay, they're all over this printer to tie down the cables so they're not loose. This right here is the wires for the heat bed, and right here there's a hole. Put it in through that hole. Here are the wires. Here's the wire for the thermistor right here. Plugs in like that, and then the red wire goes to your red wire on this plug. Just like that. Red with red. Red with red. Black with black. Yes, the black wire has a red stripe. Just match them up. You'll be alright. And this one is a Y-axis end stop, and it goes to the Y-axis end stop connector. This makes it really simple. The wires are already connected to the motherboard, so you don't have to physically go in the motherboard and plug it in. It's very nice and neat. So next thing you do is just tie down all your wires. Make sure your heat bed wires are not too tight, so it'll flex. So back here, when it goes all the way up, you don't stretch it out too much or too tight. You don't want it to bind. Keep that in mind. Now here you got your Y-axis cable and your Z-axis cable. One's short, one's long. It's pretty simple. This one will go to here, your Y-axis. X up here. Go right here. And then this goes to your power supply. The power supply has your V positive adjust. That's a little screw that's in there to adjust the voltage, and I'll explain to that in another video what that does. Then you got your voltage plus, voltage plus, voltage plus, and then you got your COM. Your COM is your common. That's actually your ground for the negative side of the 12 volt system. So black wire will go to the negative side, any other 3 COMs, and the red one will go to any other 3 positives. So one thing I want to show you guys, it's right here. Right here, there's a little hole. I'll put a zip tie there, and this edge is not super sharp, but it's something that I know with experience. If the wires were to move or vibrate, they will actually cut and wear out. It's not gonna happen here. It'll be totally fine. But if you want to take the extra precautions, I just take a little piece of this stuff here and put it on the wires, and then put the zip tie on it, and that will give you that extra protection you're looking for. Now you see that? It has to go through that plastic before it wears down. Then all I do, the zip tie on it, just like that. Make the job nice and clean. Okay. You tie it down. Now your wires are secured. Now what to do is, with these wires here, I like to keep them kind of flat and upwards. I just put a zip tie and the wire for the heat bed right there. Not too tight, just snug. We have another one. On this side. Right here. So we'll put another your 2 wires for the LCD screen will go through here too, on the inside of the printer. Right there.
Go, gadget, go, gadget, go. Yo.